Greetings, Internet.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to this special episode of Fall Wrap-Up Winter Preview.
Yeah, we were gonna do a normal podcast, but things happen, So now it's the two of us, because for once we are in the same location.
Yeah, but we are distancing because of everything that's going on.
We have a magical thing called being tall, where we just have massive arms.
Anyway, we figured we'd take this opportunity to talk about some of the shows that we've been watching this fall, since the fall season is wrapping up and winter 2021 is about a month away.
Yeah, it's just around the corner.
Yeah, and there's a lot of series that I know we're both looking forward to in winter 21. But since this current season's coming to an end, we thought we'd talk about some of the stuff that we've watched, so that way you guys can catch up if you want to.
Yeah, especially if you've missed any of these, because some of them you can only watch it on Funimation or you can only watch it on Crunchyroll. So now that most of it is out, we can now save you from having to buy the whole thing by telling you to get the 14-day free trial instead.
I think I'm going to do that with The Mandalorian, too.
Oh, dude, I'm going to do that with Mandalorian as well.
Anyway, let's get started. Talk about fall 2020. Let's start off with some of the big highlights ones. The one that's listed on the screen here, I believe both you and I are watching it. Is it wrong to pick up Girls in a Dungeon Season 3?
Season 3. So far, I do like the direction they went with, because Season 1... good party. As we discussed in the harem ones, I love Welf. Welf is my man.
Welf is your man.
Welf is my man, though he's not as prominently featured in Season 3 so far. Disappointing. But it's one of those, I do like the process we went with, because we finally started to move away from humans. We kind of covered demi-humans a little bit with... I forget her name. Blonde girl, fox ears. I'm horrible with names. Don't kill me. Harumi, that's it. And we finally started to move more towards... talking about sentient monsters and more of exploring what the dungeon itself actually is.
Yes, we're talking about this season. What is the dungeon? Why does it exist? And talking about some of the existential stuff that's going on, as well as the history of this world this season. So I felt like first season did the world building, set it up and everything. Second season, I think, followed more along the storylines of our characters, kind of fleshing them out. And this third season has kind of gotten back to the world building itself and throwing some mystery and intrigue in there.
And also, we have a collision course, what I feel that's going to happen. I haven't watched all of Season 3 yet, because obviously we're recording this before all of Season 3 is released. But we're looking towards a collision course.
Oh, yeah.
Between... because what is it? When we last left off, Belle was basically...
Well, hold on.
All right. Before we do it, spoilers now for Season 3 of How to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon. We're about to get into...
We're going to give you 5 seconds to skip ahead. My brother will make it. Yeah. Here we go. Spoilers in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Spoilers.
So Belle, where we last left off, he put himself squarely between squarely between the Loki Guild.
And
I'm blanking on her name. V. Yeah.
Yep. So
squarely between them, and he's just like, "Oh, I guess I'm putting instead. I'm siding with the monsters."
I guess I'm outing myself that I'm a monster lover.
Yeah. And right there, I was like, okay, so we're gonna have her name Eyes is her name. I believe her name's Eyes. Eyes. I'm be bad at
We're horrible with character names.
Yeah, blame it on us being small-minded. So it's one of those we're about to. I think we're probably about to find out the show off. They kind of teased it in the opening a little bit as well,
absolutely.
So you knew it was eventually going to come.
Because openings are great for spoiling seasons of anime. That's another panel that we're going to do at conventions. We're going to get back to it, but. Another topic for another time.
So it's one of those, they teased it, that showdown's finally about to happen, and I felt like the build-up to it was natural, because it feels like Eyes clearly has some kind of resentment against monsters.
Which is good for her character building, because it's one of those, we're going to kind of get more into her backstory as to why.
Yeah, because the only time we really pried into her backstory was the Sword of Oronado, if I'm pronouncing it right. I'm probably not.
Yeah.
The OVA movie, where it's one of those, that was really the only time we super focused on her, and a little bit when Belle was sort of training up in the second season when she was acting as his mentor figure for that one.
So going back to some non-spoilers here, so that way we can have a good mark here. Season 3 is looking really good. There's we're following Belle, but we're focusing more on a couple key people in the ensemble of their character development and the world building. So I kind of think that is one of the things, and I'm looking forward to seeing how the rest of the season plays out.
Yeah, I agree. Love the series so far. Though I will, JC staff they're normally hit or miss sometimes with animation, but it's one of those I've come around to this. It took a little bit of time, but I came around to How to Pick Up Girls in Dungeon.
So let's move on to the next one. Both of us have liked this. Scroll down to it. The Day I Became God.
That's a great
so let me give this out here. This is another PA Works original anime, and if that name doesn't sound familiar, Angel Beats,
Charlotte, two very high quality animes that also
both
punch you in the gut at the end of it, so you know exactly what you're signing up for.
But The Day I Became God, another original anime from PA Works. I just got to say, outstanding. Animation, story, music, character development.
Old inside!
I have to say, when I told my brother about it and I showed him first episode, within the first 5 minutes we were laughing because it was literally the straight man routine was what was going on.
Hello, little girl. Are you lost? I am the god. It's like, all right, now are your parents around here?
How do we get back to your home in Valhalla? Well, to get to Valhalla, you take the Chubu line and then you transfer over. Really? No, you idiots!
But then it turned, even though her powers are very real, and it's one of those. I still love the scene with the horse race here. It's like, horse number 4 showing.
By the way, all the stuff that we're talking about is in the first episode. This is all
first episode. So
we're not spoiling anything. Oh my god, the shit that we could spoil.
We're being nice. Whoa. We don't want to spoil it.
We don't want to spoil it, but we both want to say that the character development is great. The story development is great as well. There's surprises around each of the corners that we've been seeing. The latest episode, it was like one of those...
Last episode, you got gut punched, and then you're like, oh, this is where you're going with the PA Works. We knew this wasn't allowed to be a good comedy. We knew you were going to punch us in the gut.
Eventually.
Thank you very much. We'll do a brief spoiler, so ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. They're totally going to kill her, aren't they?
Episode 8. Oh my god, why?
You have to know that this miracle will only be temporary. Okay, way to gut punch us there, huh?
Way to actually define what the world apocalypse probably is going to be. By the way, we still haven't seen all of it, so there might be a glimmer of hope. But knowing PA Works, there's no glimmer of hope.
It's going to be sad. You're going to get punched in the gut. You're going to hate yourself for watching it, and then you're going to watch it again in a year.
Now back to non-spoilers here. Day I Became God, excellent voice acting, excellent development. Each episode is episodic somewhat, and yet carries the overall story arc of what's going on this
though I will say, it did feel like it. I did have to do one critique, it's one of those. It did take a while for the actual story arc to kind of start to form, because it was like, the world's going to end at the end of the summer, and for like the first few episodes, that was kind of ignored in favor of character building, which is okay in my opinion. But that is something that I know that sometimes it doesn't always pass a 4-episode test, where it's one of those like, they spent too much time character building.
But again, I think one of the problems, I think the reason why it was a little slow is because it's an original anime. They're not going off of a source material. And speaking from my video experience, when you're putting together an original story for screen, it does take a couple episodes to establish it. Just to give you an idea, most of the time when a new show premieres, notice how they say like 2-hour special or something like that? That's normally the first 2 episodes are premiering in one night. So that way next week, that's the 3rd episode, kind of following along with your test. So they're trying to get within 2 weeks, 3 episodes worth of story out there. So with an original anime, it might be a little slow in the beginning, but it still keeps you engaged.
And I do have to say, I do like the character dynamic between Yota and Hina.
Yes.
Because it's one of those, Hina is the typical sort of like, out there, I'm the great. I'm the star of the anime, whether anyone's going to admit it or not. Pink hair. I'm going to call it a nun outfit because that's basically what it is. It really is like a nun outfit.
Yeah.
Wearing nun outfit, standing out. And then Yota, hi, I am a black-haired Asian man. Nothing strange about me.
Exactly. So moving on to the next one, Talentless Nana. Now I'm gonna carefully word this one or two sentences.
You know what? No, so we're gonna say this right now.
No. I'm gonna word the first couple things non-spoiler wise.
Okay.
So Talentless Nana is a really good show that's out there. It is mystery, full of intrigue. There's great character development, and it's always keeping you on your feet. It's action, but there's also drama as well. What do you want to say about it, non-spoiler?
Non-spoilery. If you have not seen it yet, I insist you avoid reading any plot summaries about it before you watch episode 1.
I agree. My brother told me that, and it was great. It really heightened the experience of episode 1.
And as I say, if you don't get hooked by episode 1, then it's probably not your cup of tea. That's, as I say, I think, watch episode 1. You'll love it. We're going to now go into spoilers in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh my god, it's basically Among Us, the anime.
I think it's what is this show? It's Among Us, okay, and My Hero Academia. Oh, so there's superpowers involved.
Yes. Pink is acting very sus.
No, it's more of, as what I say, White comes in. Pink, you've been acting very strange lately. You were the last one seen with Nakakame on top of the cliff. And not only that, you were disappearing when the other 2 members have gone too. What do you have to say for yourself? I don't know, guys. White is acting kind of sus. Everyone else, yeah, lay off of Pink, White. Why are you acting kind of sus? White, oh, does anyone want to be my best friend?
So, I will say this. Nana keeps you constantly guessing on whether or not she is going to be found out. And it is... Even when Sam and I have been watching it, it's been one of those...
We've been caught off guard
We've been caught off guard a couple times. It's one of those, is this where she's caught? Or what is exposed here?
Well, that's what I think is... And this is where I say the cliffhanger... This series has sort of mastered, I feel, the art of the cliffhanger. So many series aren't able to do that, where it's at the end of each episode... You're legitimately wondering, wait, it's over? No, what happens next? I need to see, like, what is it? At the end of the most recent episode, episode 8, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Jin has the phone, and as well as it's like, oh, so now I have the way to contact all your superiors, and when they're, like, making up the whole enemies of humanity, he actually now fits that exact type of, he is a legitimate enemy of humanity. And not only that, he is the most OP enemy of humanity because he can copy everyone's ability and their appearance, which, this is just my take. I feel like she's going to be able to unite, this is just what I think she's going to do, unite the students and expose him as the enemy of humanity and use him as... I think she's gonna frame him for all the murder.
Oh,
I think she's gonna frame him.
That would be good. And now this is based off of a manga, I think. Or...
Yeah, it's based off of a manga. It is not. The manga is not available in physical copy in the U.S. right now. You can only get it if you have a Crunchyroll subscription or if you read it through other means. But we encourage you to do the
legitimate means.
Yes, legitimate means. We encourage that.
What's another series that we're both?
Oh, how about a series that we didn't like?
Well, actually,
that we stopped before we even finished the first episode.
All right, scroll it up. I can't remember how to pronounce the title.
Yeah, what is it? Actually, no. We'll just bring up the English name because we're weebs. Our Last Crusade to the Rise of a New...
No, it's Our Last Crusade or the Rise of a New World. Oh my god, talk about the first 10 minutes of expositional smash-around-me.
Okay, so we'll admit it. We watched it in the dub. It's one of those... Sometimes we do sub, sometimes we do dub. It doesn't really matter to us, but...
It's a Funimation dub that shouldn't say anything about it because, I'm going to back this up, the way that the voice actors were acting when it matched up with the lip reading of the characters... It looked like the emotions that they were delivering were the actual emotions that the Japanese voice actors delivered as well.
But I felt like it's one of those, the emotions came across in the voice, but not in the animation.
Oh my god, the amount of...
It was
character
cringy
development
too.
was rushed. It's one of those, who is this now? What is this? This is now a team dynamic, even though we've just been introduced, but they've known each other. It's like,
Forever 22, yeah.
Additionally, they're throwing stuff out
looks
there
like a
where it's
toddler.
like, this is a thing. Well, what is that thing? It's a thing.
It's a thing. What's this? It's a silo, and people destroy the silo. Wait, why? Because it's a silo. Maybe they explained it more in the episode, but we couldn't get past the first. So normally we like to give an anime a 4-episode try. There are
It was originally
rare...
3. We've upped it to 4.
Yeah, just so I can say, this has been up for review, and then I never did that show again. But we couldn't get through the first. It was normally, I looked at him while we were watching it. I think the scene that did it was when they're facing the Blizzard Princess, and it's one of those, the scene that did it where I was like, oh, my heel, oh, I tripped, I'm falling. Our main protagonist, I got you. Are you alright, my lady? Shut up, Baka! And it's like, okay, that's the route we're going. You could have done that so much. Like, as I say, the
first episode was very rushed.
Instead of venting about the problems, something that I think that might have worked better, and you sort of agree with this.
A 40-minute episode would have been better.
A 40-minute episode instead of rushing it together, and also don't actually have the two, quote, main characters of it meet. Like, even on the art for the thing, you have the two characters, like, back-facing, and it's one of those, I thought it might have been better to instead have those characters actually in their two own worlds to start. Like, you have one person on one side of the war, the other person on the other. Don't have them meet within the first 10 minutes and then ruin that potential dynamic.
Have you seen the anime Assassin's Pride?
So I have seen Assassin's Pride.
So what you're talking about kind of brings that up. Well, the main characters do meet in the first episode. They don't meet until about the end, and when they meet at the end, it's more of, this is an introduction about the characters. Nothing really happens between them. It's just, this is this person, because the first part of that episode, it's a slow world building, and this, it's a flashback first, then exposition, done,
and then a flashback again,
then to the person, then into the story. And it
started in the world. It started with him like in the jail cell. Then they flashed back to like got him thrown in the jail cell, and then they were like, "You released a witch." And I was like, "Okay, but why did he do it in the first place?" He's like, "Because I want to end this senseless war." She's like, "I want to end this senseless war too." We both want to end this senseless war. What are the odds? And it's like, yes, they're going to be. Why are you acting like that's a new thing? Like it's even in normal history. It was like even in normal history there were several events like that, but we haven't even really established what either of the two sides want.
So let's move on from this one to
don't complain about
another war type anime that we're both watching.
I know what you're talking about.
Warlords of
Sigdrifia.
Yes.
Sigdrifia.
Oh,
jeez. Ready?
Let's see if we can do it. Ready?
Whoa.
1, 2, 3.
Clap, 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 clap. I was totally cut out of the camera.
It doesn't matter. So this is a show about
Valkyries.
Well, here, let me. So the world has been taken over by some mysterious, we'll say alien, not necessarily outer space alien.
Weird
we'll say alien
things.
As in strange or not of the world force that is taking over parts of the world. Odin, Viking god. Hey, that's the second series with Odin as the god. Comes down and says, "I will lend you my hand and help you protect it, the Earth." And teenage girls become Valkyries, which people were like, "What? No."
Well, no, it's not teenage. It actually varies because what is it? They have the youngest pilot is 14.
Yes,
so it's all
mid-20s.
Yeah, we also,
like I said, teens primarily.
Young adults.
But they are named. They have World War II aircraft, and they're fighting against all of these, and they're backed up by modern-day squadrons,
the shields,
fighter jets, the shield squadrons, who are awesome.
I love it. It took one. It's one you told me to wait to the one episode where they shied and when they started doing the clap. I got
My
sold
brother
on it.
loves some of this, like, but anyway, it's wholesome. There's great character development. I'm a fan of military anime. You're always kept on your toes on it.
I feel
Well, I
like
wouldn't say
it took
always.
for a look. I will say this. I almost had a similar complaint to the anime we just talked about, the Holy War thing. I almost had a similar complaint to where it took a little bit for the story to get going, but unlike this one, the first episode actually grabbed you in with a narrative.
And additionally, it was a 40-minute episode, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it was a 40-minute episode. What was the main character's name?
Claudia.
Claudia, yeah, the French. Actually, no. Came from Europe, sent her to Japan. Already a story that you're like, okay, it'll probably get resolved, but at least it's giving you something with. She always is the only person remaining of her squadron.
And we can tell you this because this happens in the first episode. It
yeah.
explained.
We're only going to do first episode for the moment.
So the reason why she's transferred from Europe to Japan is because Japan's named Valkyrie was killed in action.
Yeah.
So
One, reason for the change established.
Yes. So reason there for why we're taking place in Japan established. Number two, the reason why she is moving is because there are 3 Valkyries in Europe, and she's actually had some knowledge of Japan. Her dad told her about it and everything. Reason number 2 for her transfer. When she's transferred over there, she meets up with a squadron so that she ends up being in essence, the team leader of.
No, technically, but not really.
But not real.
I forget the white-haired girl's name, but she's technically the squad leader.
But it's very organic on this stuff. It's one of those. It's a chance meeting that she finds out later. Wait, these are the people I'm working with.
Nothing feels forced in it, and it's one of those. They let the plot develop naturally. It's one of those. I will say this. I would have preferred Odin in his normal state of, I am an actual Norse god with my beard. Not like I'm a 10-year-old boy state, but that's my own personal thing. But it's one of those, Odin, you not knowing why he's helping, that's part of the mystery. And in later episodes, not going into spoilers, we start to slowly unravel why Odin's involved. What the machines really are. What the Valkyries really are. And it's one of those, it starts moving from modern slowly a little bit into the mythological very slowly, but since they're doing it at a little bit of a slower pace, because remember, like the tablets, for some reason she can read it, you don't know why. He's like, oh, she's my daughter, sort of thing. He says all this in the first episode, but it all slow. It's one of those, they planted seeds and they're actually organically growing it.
And actually, I'm going to back up a little bit to the episode. So we were talking about how exposition dump, we don't like that, and a lot of people don't like that too. The way the first episode was actually done, it actually opens up with an American Air Force squadron trying to take out one of these pillars in Alaska. And they're doing that, and it doesn't work. And then it cuts to a World Council of, hey, we've been trying to fight. This attack that we just did was our best effort. Yeah. It didn't work. We are out of ideas. What are we going to do? It's ever since these have come here, we've tried this, nothing. Odin then reveals himself, says, I'm willing to help, does the stuff. They do a flash forward a couple of years to our main character in Europe doing her own raid, and then talking about the stuff. It then furthers forward what's going on, what they've been doing.
It's one of those, instead of smacking us with characters just talking about it, they show us what's
I don't think
going
we
on,
even get to Japan until like the 20, 30 minute mark.
I think
in the first episode is where
you get there
they
like
actually
around the
get there.
You get there around the halfway
At
point.
least the halfway point. So the first half of the episode 1 is, in essence, exposition. But it's not in a way where you're feeling like all this information is being thrown on you at once.
All right, so that was our 4th anime that we talked about. So
let's each talk about an anime that we
watched. Hand off the reins, so to speak. All right, so then What's an anime you just...
Go up. I know you're not probably going to watch this one.
Hey, that's insulting.
No, go down. That one right there.
Oh, that Over the Moon, I think it's official English name is called?
Let me double check.
We're refreshing our memories because it's one of those... yeah, Over the Moon for you.
Tanikawa, Over the Moon for you.
I may watch that. I mean, I'm not that... Here.
So no, you don't need to do it. I'm going to keep it this is going to be non-spoilers. I'm not going to spoil. I'm not going to spoil. I'm not going to spoil.
Okay.
It's a romance anime. I love the character development between them. It's wholesome romance. It really punches you in the first episode of what's going on because you'll see this in like...
I don't like sad anime.
No, at the 2-minute mark, it's basically the guy is dying. He has been run over by a truck and he's about to die. Truck-kun actually does not strike. Because if Truck-kun strikes again, he would have been isekai, but that doesn't happen in this. Truck-kun fails.
Truck-kun!
Yes, Truck-kun fails to kill him. And this guy's devotion to finding out who this person is so strong that he staves off dying from hemorrhagic shock.
So he avoids getting isekai, is what you're telling.
Basically, but it's a wonderful romance anime. Yes, I know they're younger age. There is some mysterious elements to it because by the time, I think like episode 3 or 4, you start getting some hints about what this female character might be, some of her origins, and you start getting even more and more suspicious. I'm starting to get more of it, who is this? I'm thinking something else is going on here, but I don't want to spoil anything else about it. But if you're into romance at all, it's very wholesome. It's great. It's not sappy. It's not cliche. It's really good and wholesome.
Okay, so I guess I'll then talk about the anime that I've been watching by myself, Noblesse, which I'm kind of like 50-50 on. I'm like, if I had to give a scale of like 1 out of 10, I'd put it as like a 6, which, by the way, if you don't know my scale, it's 1 is, it's terrible, 5 is, it's an anime, it exists, congratulations, 10 is, it's perfect. So 6 means it's slightly above average. It's kept my attention for a little bit, but it's one of those, not every anime is going to be a
Let
hit.
me clarify a little further. My brother doesn't buy the DVD copy normally until it's like about an 8.59.
Yeah, 8.5 or higher.
He's changed that slightly with some of the stuff that's been going on.
Yeah,
but
because
for the most
Sentai, man. Sentai just don't... Yeah.
But for the most part, he doesn't buy it unless, it's an 8.5 or a 9 for him.
But it's one of those... Noblesse is one of those... At first, where I at least thought, I was like, this is going to be a vampire anime. Like, Noblesse, the red eyes, the blood in the opening. By the way, the opening is a fucking bomber. I don't know why. Like, it's one of those, when it first starts, you're like, you don't expect it. Okay, it's, in all honesty, I will say, sometimes I think I'm just watching this anime because the opening's such a... It's not It's not even like a rock thing or anything. It's just like the perfect, like, a subtlety, quiet, serene, and then it slowly builds, and then... But it's actually, so... Rizel L kind of takes, who's one of the main characters, which is actually I like. You have a lot of main characters. In Rizel, he's the overpowered one, but he's not the one who's on center stage. The one who is on center stage is 23. I think it's 20. I think he's called 23. I might be getting the numbers wrong. Sorry if the numbers are wrong. 23, and as well as he's sort of like a human who's trying to get who was experimented on to try to get the power of those called Noblesse, which are actually this spoilers in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So it's one of those, the Noblesse were essentially protectors of the... This isn't really a spoiler, actually, now that I think about it. This is more just world building.
Why did you say spoilers?
It's really just more world building when I think about it, but
you're
basically...
an idiot.
Yeah, probably. Basically, the Noblesse are essentially protectors. They protect humans, but eventually humans start, like, wondering... They start getting stronger, and it's like, do the humans really need the protection? And it causes some Noblesse to kind of be pompous assholes. Like two of the characters who we will eventually meet.
So what you're saying is you and I should probably watch this evening.
Yeah, I think it's actually a good thing. And what I like is it's also based off a lot of sort of old stories, like Frankenstein is a character, Franken, and he's the principal of the school that Ryzel's attending. So that means technically the student's the boss, but Ryzel's attending the school to kind of like get the used to the feeling of like what humans are, because he's been asleep for 820 years. And you kind of meet two of our characters. I will say this, the first episode was not the biggest, oh, this is a good series. It's, as I call it, it's more of a Black Clover series where it takes a little bit of time to get going. There's nothing that will wow you as you're watching it, but eventually you realize after you, if it's a binge, you'll be like, oh, I guess the first episode is okay. I guess I'll watch the second. I guess I'll watch the third. I guess I'll watch the fourth. I guess I'll watch the sixth. Wait, I'm on 6? It's one of those where it's one of those, it's not going to blow you away. The story's not going to be like, oh, this is an amazing, never thought of thing, but it's a nice, slow burn where it's one of those, it's hard for me to find any flaws in it. It's one of those, there's nothing that particularly stands out, but there's nothing that drags it down. And that's what I like about it. And also, as a fact, it does the thing that a lot of stories with overpowered characters fail to do, and Ryzel is an overpowered character, where normally it's like, oh, the overpowered character is...
You become tired of the OP character after, like, 4th episode.
Yeah, but it's one of those, instead, Ryzel, he's not overexposed. It's like a WWE booking. You don't overexpose the guy who's undefeated, where you're like, oh, of course it's going to be dead. Instead, it's like, here's the final obstacle to the villain, because even with one of the main villains, Ryzel doesn't actually show up until the very end, after all the other characters have already been like clearly on their last legs, gasping, and the villain is proven just too powerful, and then he's there, and then he shows up, and you've already gotten the like 23 at the end of one of the fights. He's like, he sees himself as weak now. He sees himself as powerless, and Ryzel, and this is an actual spoiler now. And Ryzel basically shows, no, you have true potential within you, and it turns out 23 is actually really a werewolf, and it's like, all I did was just release potential, right now I have it. It's your job to live up to your potential. It's one of those, he takes on more of the role of a mentor figure, is more of in the background, even though the story feels like it's mainly on him. It's a weird dynamic that works. So yeah, like I said, it's a weird dynamic that works with that.
So before we go into Winter 2021, I want to talk about one more unique series that both of us have watched, because
Fire Force?
No, because technically it was a summer.
Season 2.
It was a summer 2020, but its second half came out in the fall. I think you know what I'm talking about. The Great Pretender. So The Great Pretender, here's the best way to describe what it is. It is a cross between Catch Me If You Can meets The Italian Job.
That's actually, that's a good comparison.
So the reason why it's a little unique, and we're talking about it here with our fall wrap-up, is episodes 1 to 14 were released in July, and that was the first 3 story arcs. Episodes 15 to 23 were just released at the end of November, and that is all one story arc. So they have them in cases. So the first part, so Netflix billed it as season 1 for the first 14 episodes, and season 2 for the next 9 episodes.
Although, in all honesty, I feel like it was.
It truly was season 1. But the reason why we're talking about it is because summer, we loved it.
Yes.
Each story arc build upon the stuff. The comedy was there. The plot was there. We were kept on our toes. The characters were lovable. There was twists. There was turns. Laurent.
Laurent's an asshole.
Laurent is a lovable asshole.
Why did you bring this guy in? Well, we needed an Asian doctor. Well, you fit the bill. That's how he tries to play it off, but lots of spins ahead. Laurent always had a master plan. It's one of those...
So the good news is each of the story arcs specifically builds a character on the team. And just, this isn't a spoiler, but this kind of will help you get a sense of what's going on. Laurent's story arc, primarily, is what Netflix built as the second season. Those 9 episodes, because wow.
Well, Laurent and also another character who would be spoilers if we said who it was. Yes. But it's Laurent and another character's building.
But that second season, wow.
It was good.
It was good. And the cool thing is the...
Here,
ready? You know the catchphrase that I want to say right now. Ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
I'm a confidence man! Wow.
But the way that the schemes that they come up with for the stuff are
realistic,
yet off the wall.
Well, what I like with the schemes is what they do is first when they showcase it to how it looks to the person getting conned.
Yes.
And then afterwards, it's like a magician showing you how they did it afterwards. So it's one of those, first they show the con, and then they show how they pulled off the con. And normally you're like, oh, it had to be an off-the-top way. But then when you actually watch it, it's like, that actually feels plausible. That actually seems possible. Given those circumstances that you set up, that is a possible con to do.
And not only are you laughing the first time you see the trick done, you're laughing even more when the mechanics of the trick are revealed,
Should
basically.
we put the cat here? There wasn't a cat there originally. Just leave it. They're coming. Why is that cat there? I added it. Do you not like it? No, I like it.
Oh, by the way, profanity in it.
Oh yeah, lots of profanity.
Actually, you know what I would have to say?
Appropriate amounts of profanity.
I would say tone, not necessarily violence in it with everything. I would say it has a Black Lagoon kind of tone,
but not
to
violence,
it as well.
Yeah.
But not violent and not over excessive on the profanity and whatnot. But still, I would have to say if you liked Black Lagoon, this is a toned down version on like the violence and the language of Black Lagoon. Same character dynamics going on. Small crew doing hijinks and everything.
Well, the Rod's crew is actually very large, but small made focus of the crew.
That's true. But that was the one thing I wanted to bring up as our final fall anime. If
you haven't seen it yet, Great Pretender, we
on
both
Netflix,
recommend it.
It's in Japanese as well as English dub as well. Both of them are great.
Actually, this is one of the rare times where normally I say there's not really much of a difference between dub or sub. The dub encapsulates the characters, I think, perfectly. That's one of those. I recommend you watch this in your primary language because it's one of those. The dub really captures the characters, and since they're going to be speaking different languages throughout it too, because Laurent speaks Chinese,
French.
He speaks Mandarin specifically at one point. French. It's one of the characters are going to be speaking different languages regardless.
I do want to give you guys a heads up, Warner, for the first episode because when I started watching it, I was a little confused. If you click English dub when you're watching it for the first episode, there is going to be some subtitled parts for the first part, and you're going to think, wait, did I actually click English dub? Yes, you did. Just bear with it for the first 5 minutes.
It's because,
trust me.
Well, as we say, it's because he's actually, it's one in that context of the scene, which is what I love. He's actually speaking Japanese in that scene. It's because it's Japanese because he's supposed to be speaking Japanese, and that'll get lost on you if you watch it in the Japanese version.
Exactly. But that I just want you to bear with it because I originally got confused for a second. I had to go back and I'm like, no, it isn't. And then like about 2-3 minutes later, I was like, oh, okay, this makes sense now.
Yeah, it was good. Okay, now anime we're looking for.
All right, moving on. Right. Winter 2021. Wow, is all I gotta say.
Well, the first thing,
actually, you know what I think sums it up. It is a season of season 2s.
Yeah, we get Dr. Stone's Stone Wars 2. We have ReZero, the second part of season 2.
We have Cells at Work season 2.
Yes.
We have Quintessential Quintuplets season 2.
Third season of Log Horizon as well.
Scroll down. I know there was
Sea-Star's second season. There's a lot of season.
There's a lot of season 2s.
So as we say, the stuff reincarnated as I don't even know what's the script for that one. My life reincarnated as a slime, or is it My Life or That Time?
That time I got reincarnated as a slime, season 2. I'm just going to scroll through here because it's just like one of those. You know, there are so
how
Laid
about
Back
the-
Camp season 2.
Yeah. How about this, Joey? How about this? We'll go this real quick. What are the 3 anime you're most looking forward to for winter 2021?
Dr. Stone Wars.
Yeah.
That's number 1.
That's one.
Even though they're technically 2 separate, I'm going to combine them together. I'm looking forward to the Cells at Work series. And then the third one... you know...
Oh, come on. You know you want to say quintessential quintuplet season 2.
No, actually...
Oh, come on. You know you want to say
No,
quintessential...
I'm looking forward to either... suppose a kid from the last Dungeon Boonies moved to a starter town. Oh, no, wait.
Oh, that's a light
No, wait.
novel.
I forgot. We're missing one.
We did?
Yes. I've been killing slimes for 300 years.
Of course.
That comes out
coming.
this
That
winter
comes
as well. I forgot about that. So, also, the Woodakoi OVA is released this coming as well. So,
But it's only part of a novel, I thought.
yeah, yes, but
Yeah.
you will be able to find it somehow, some way.
Yeah. Amazon Prime, get on top of your game. Start releasing those OVAs.
But so many 2s coming out, or so many additions to the story.
Well, I feel
are
like
coming
that's
out.
what the winter... Like, we talked about this before.
The
where
winter
it's
and
one
the
of
summer are the prime
winter and summer
times.
feel like the prime times. And that's what... Like, for me personally, at my one, because I'm an isekai basic bitch, I'm looking forward to ReZero, the second part of season 2. Obviously, I watched all of the second season as it came out, which, you know me, I normally like to wait until, like, all of the series comes out, and then I watch it. I did not wait for this one. Like, what is it? The reason why... Oh, I'll say this. There was a reason why in the previous stuff I did not talk about a series I was actually looking forward to, Higurashi, The Tears That They Cried, because I'm waiting for all of that to come out, but I will watch that once it comes out. Do not hate me for people. I will watch it when it comes out. I just want all of it to come out. It's a good horror series. I love it. And the second one, Dr. Stone Wars, obviously. I loved the first Dr. Stone so much, because he's not your traditional overpowered main character. He's overpowered in the mind.
I don't even think he's really overpowered.
Well, that's why I say not your traditional. It's one of those, if you look at it from, like, I say, an objective perspective, he's a super genius. That is, like, really overpowered in the Stone Age. But it's one of those, the way it's implemented, he never feels that way. Objectively, he should feel that way, but he never does because it was done so well.
I'll agree with you on. And so the reason why I don't think he's OP is because he is in the stone world, and the stuff that he wants to do cannot be done.
It takes so
that it takes so much. Just to give you an
So
idea,
he
when he's
finds-
doing some of the glass working stuff, how much it takes sometimes a full episode just to get a part done of stuff, and it's one of those. And even when he's doing stuff, hopefully you guys have seen season 1 by now, so
Yeah,
we're
it's
not
been
doing
out
the
for a while.
spoilers or anything.
Well,
but
spoiler for season 1 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turn away now. We warned you.
so when they come back and they show, hey, we made a water wheel to do the power generation and the cutting and all that other stuff, Senku comes back and goes, oh wow, you made a water wheel. And then the two of them faint over. We didn't think that you would know what that is. So it just goes to show that it's one of those, he's not the all-powerful one doing all this stuff and everything. And then we come to find out later what the stories that are passed down mean and everything.
Technically, as I say, they really like decided to dodge a bullet, kind of. They're like, "Oh, he's not even my real dad, technically," because you don't even want to remotely imply incest with the love interest, where it's like, "Ah, he's secretly your great granddaughter." It's like, no, oh, turns out he's not even my real dad, technically. Oh, so we're just going to avoid that whole thing, even though it's like. I mean, Crusader Kings 3 and the religion thing that disobeys incest, it stops after that.
I will say, released in the fall. So this is a little weird. It's on Crunchyroll's YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, the OVA.
It's an OVA, but it's a partial recap as well. I still would watch it because the first few minutes of the OVA have new content. and the last few minutes of it have new content as well, with some recapping in the middle. It's worth the watch because it primes you for the second season, which we're both really excited because it's about to be a huge escalation in story. Huge escalation that I am very much looking forward to.
All right, and time for the third one that I'm looking forward to is My Life Reincarnated as a Slime.
Season 2, yes.
So this is now what I'm going to say. It's one of those. I'll just show this, as fellow light novel readers will understand. I am almost all the way up to date on all the light novel stuff, so I know what's going to be happening soon. And a lot of people who probably read the manga know too. With the arc, Joey, close your ears. Spoilers and
no, we're not even going to talk spoilers on it. Come on.
Fine. I'll just put it this way. I'm looking forward to it because I know what's going to happen, and I will love to see it animated. I know what's going to happen, and you will not be disappointed because I am sure that they'll get to that part of the story because it's only in like book 5 or 6 that it does. They have to cover it.
I will say that this coming winter season is a lot of twos. So what I do to keep track of stuff to watch, I'm on animeplanet.com.
I'm not.
They have what's called challenges. And the reason why is it helps. You hit enroll in the challenge for your own thing. And then it shows in that challenge, these are all the anime that are released right now. That are being releasing new episodes this season. So if I'm going through in my list of stuff that's upcoming and I want to watch because it's not out, as soon as I enroll in the challenge, as soon as I go to that page, it shows, hey, these are the anime that are dropping this season. So it's one of those, oh, hey, cool. I know Stone Wars is coming out this winter. I know both Slime animes are coming out this winter and everything. And I think I'm looking at it, there's at least like 10 shows, I think, that are on my challenge list for coming up for winter that I'm going to be watching, which is, oh man, it's and a lot of season 2s.
So I think that actually covers our winter 2021. So that was I think that covers our recap and our preview.
I will say, both of us are looking forward to winter 2021.
Actually, yeah, both looking forward. I was about to say winter 2021. There was one thing I was disappointed by because one of my series. There is one thing I was disappointed by. Musha Jobless Reincarnation was supposed to come out. It didn't.
I know. There's a bunch.
Everyone were feeling those delays too. We missed
them. We are really grateful to see all of these episodes.
Yeah. Give it as I say with some of the things. If your favorite anime got delayed, look at anime you wouldn't normally watch.
Yeah,
that's as I say. Watch something you wouldn't normally because I will say this, the Warlords of Sigdrifia, which we spent so much time talking about, that is not something based on its description that I would have normally watched.
I talked him into it.
Yeah, he talked me into it. And it's one of those, that's as I say, move out of your comfort zone during this, because this is your chance to watch anime you won't normally watch.
So just to kind of come back and recap, fall 2020 is coming to an end at the end of this month. So if you're not up to date on series,
get up to date now.
Get up to date now. There's plenty of most of the episodes most of the series we're watching. There's at least 8 episodes out. Dubs of up to 4 of them,
and some with a part 2 is like, I need to watch Digimon Adventure at some point.
Exactly.
Like, I've been
there's a lot. On that. So fall 2020 is coming to a close. Both of us are extremely excited for January for all those
2021, shows. More like winter 2022. And 3 if you're like Log Horizon. But
yeah,
don't be selfish,
a lot of second seasons, a lot of spin-offs coming up that I'm really excited to see. And yeah, I think that sums up our OVA episode of Fall Recap and Winter Preview.
Yeah. All right then. This is Sam.
I'm Joey.
We'll be signing off. See you guys next time.
All right. Thanks for watching Generic Anime Group.